Hello, I made a ROM hack of Pokemon Red, and you can play it right now. The Kanto Expansion Pak is a mod of Generation 1 aiming to add all Kanto-related Pokemon to the game, including cross-generation evolutions, regional variants, paradox Pokemon, and more, like Melmetal. It's been a pretty serious undertaking, headed by a fan called Mothers Against Humanity, porting the Showdown mod I made last year. With the help of people like me and thornAvery, it's become much more than that though, and that's why I'm here. The ROM hack can be played by building from source or using a provided patch on a clean ROM. In both cases, an emulator is required. I recommend BGB for PCs. Any device works, so long as there's a good, accurate Game Boy emulator. It's not unlike most hacks you play in this department. A lot of people seem to be making this way more complicated than it actually is. I don't know why. Anyway, so far, we've gone over the type chart and scrapped Pokemon in past videos. That said, let's look at what other Pokemon we added. I should note that, when determining special stats, we track how the Pokemon's special progress through generations. For example, Onix has 30 special in RBY, which becomes its special attack in GSC. Therefore, when importing Steelix, it uses its special attack stat of 55 as its special. This is used for maximum consistency, giving a fairly objective result. Being consistent with RBY though, Pokemon like Magmortar will suffer for it. But hey, Kanto never took prisoners. Now for the actual Pokemon added. If it evolves from a Kanto Pokemon, is a regional form of a Kanto Pokemon, or something of that nature, it is in the game. That means you'll see Rhyperior, Alolan Ninetales, Sandy Shocks, and so on. Rhyperior evolves from Rhydon, Alolan Ninetales is a regional form of Ninetales, and Sandy Shocks is the paradox version of Magneton. Later gen Pokemon that appear in Kanto, such as Houndoom, are excluded. A lot of people seem to make this more complicated than it actually is as well, I don't know why. But yeah, there's your answer. We did face one limitation, which is that we couldn't add baby Pokemon or pre-evolutions of regional variants into the game, due to Pokemon being stored with 8-bit IDs. We have around 250 Pokemon in the game, and if we go above 253, we kind of just run out of space, so we have to keep a few spaces up in case anything happens. Anyway, point is, we don't have all the babies. We could refactor the game to use 16-bit IDs on Pokemon, but it was beyond our programming expertise. It's extremely possible though, considering Crystal has a repository for this. It's just a really large undertaking that we couldn't really afford to do. Additionally, Mega and Gigantamax forms aren't available due to a similar lack of skills, but also because they weren't in the Showdown mod, so it didn't make sense to have them here either. To make up for this, some prototype cross-generation evolutions have been made available, such as Luxvan, Tricules, and Malignant from the Space World 1997 demo of Gold and Silver. Would you believe if I said Luxvan, Tricules, and Malignant were finished Pokemon before being cut in GSC? Like, they even had cries and full learn sets, it's wild. Oh, and also, Carapthor, the prototype Beedrill design, was also made into its own Pokemon, being a bug fighting type. The regional forms are available in the same style as Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, with trainers being at each Pokemon Center. These trainers will ask for the usual form and then train in the regional version just like in those games. To remove version exclusivity, Alolan Raticate is available in Viridian City and Golem in Pewter City. If the regional variant is from Galar or Paldeer, it'll be available on the SSN, which now returns after obtaining the Marsh Badge. The Hisuian forms are available from Bill and his grandfather, near Cerulean City and in Future City respectively. Accommodating Meltan and Melmetal, I added the Mystery Box from Pokemon Go, and the Candy Jar from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. When you use the Mystery Box, Meltan replaces the wild Pokemon encountered, and defeating them gives you 10 Meltan candies each. When you collect 400, the Candy Jar will act as an evolution stone, evolving Meltan into Melmetal, before resetting. The Mystery Box's effects are removed when you leave the location. This is probably the closest you'll get to Pokemon Go on the Game Boy. It's really, really weird. Oh, and I tried to have it work on capture, but the game responded really weirdly, and I just could not be bothered to fix it. It just kept on getting wrong. Just please just kill the Meltans, I beg you. When it comes to moves, the Pokemon largely use the same learn sets as their originals, with some adaptations made. In this case, I was Judge, Jury, and Executioner. For example, while Rhyperior's learn set is just Rhydons, Steelix uses Onix's with some Steel-type moves added in. In essence, if the Pokemon gets a new type, or otherwise gets a new move that is essential to its design, it's likely to have some new moves. Otherwise, probably not. Additionally, some cut moves we have the stats for are also in the game, namely Uppercut and Powder Snow. These are used as starting moves for various fighting and Ice-type Pokemon, giving some early and easily accessed stab. Mankey gets Uppercut starting out, and Carapthor gets it upon evolution, so maybe you want to try it out with them. In general, I wanted the core experience to be the same as you'd see in vanilla RBY, only expanding on what was there instead of trying to remake the wheel. In other words, we balance around the Pokemon instead of introducing power creep to fix something that isn't broken. I suppose you could say this is RBY if it had another year of development. If you disagree, well, it's open source, and changing Pokemon is largely just fiddling with numbers and adding different things in. You can fine-tune your experience however you want. That's the beauty of open source development. Anyway, I want to talk about the new features beyond the Pokemon. We have done so much more. Firstly, tons of quality of life. You can pick a feminine character option using Green's design for Pokemon Anniversary Red. To accommodate, Celadon Gym uses Crystal's gender-neutral character lines, and the player character is also referred to in a gender-neutral way the entire time. This changes what? Less than 10 lines across the game? Yeah, I was surprised too. Running shoes are natively available and can be used together with a bicycle and surf, allowing you to experience the Muck Bike and Aura Sharpedo functionality from laser generations by proxy. This makes traversing Kanto much more enjoyable. Many other speed enhancements have been made. Instant attacks is now a feature, Pokeball flash less when taking damage, HM actions are available from the overworld, HP bars move twice as fast, artificial save delays being removed, and more. Long story short, a lot of the hassle and monotony has been cut out, giving way to a much more fluid experience. To accommodate new Pokemon items, their capacities have also been increased. The PC now has 14 boxes with an overall 280 Pokemon capacity, and the bag now holds up to 30 items. You can get a living dex and then some with this new functionality. There's a bunch of new music available too. Firstly, some unused music, such as a prototype Diglett's Cave theme, a route theme reminiscent of GSC, Giovanni's theme, and what eventually became Mount Moon Square are available. Oh, that's a new game by the way. We added Mount Moon Square. I don't know why, I was just demented that day. We also added Kincho-01, a tension theme. While we don't know what it was originally for, we repurposed it for when you access the dens of Galarian birds in the post-game. This usage happened to be all the possible definitions of Kincho, being tension, anxiety, and, well, bird. We've also used BGVC's restoration of her training music for the trade room and the post-game city. Additionally, some original compositions have been made by Lucy Shrimp. Area Zero, Mewtwo Stadium theme, and the legendary battles theme from Fire and Leaf Green, featuring some of Emerald's elements for its Mew fight. There will be a link to a small playlist of these tracks in the description for your enjoyment. Picking Pikachu or Eevee as starters begins a Pikachu at Eevee mode. It's made to be faithful to Yellow and Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, giving access to the original 3 Kanto starters, but with some dialogue tweaks to be like the anime. For example, Damien comments on Charmander being weak, and Melody has been moved to the daycare. If you pick Eevee, you'll get a Pikachu when you access the back of the Celadon condominiums. I recommend going there by the way, we did some cool stuff with it. To clarify, if you pick Pikachu or Eevee as your starters, you can still evolve them. They'll function like any other Pokemon. However, there are some interesting components here. Pikachu can become a Alolan Raichu through the trader in Saffron City, or Gorochu through a new feature we'll go over later. Eevee, on the other hand, evolves via the evolution stones you'll find across the game. You could say Pikachu represents trades, while Eevee represents stones, making them very different to those traditional Kanto starters. Irrespective of whether you choose Pikachu or Eevee, Jessie and James have also been backported from Yellow and will be encountered, complete with their own theme song. They have much more inspired teams, including their additional Indigo League roster, namely Lickitung, Victory Bell, and Gyarados, which you'll see as you progress. In the post-game, you can refight Jessie, and James provides a Hyper Training feature. We chose James to be the Hyper Training guide because he has a love for bottle caps in the anime, making it feel like a much more natural choice. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee really missed an opportunity here. I really don't know why they didn't do this. Anyway, playing into the semi-open world of Kanto, gym battles now have level scaling, increasing with your badge count. If you fight Sabrina early, she'll be much weaker, while if you skip Rock and fight him last, he'll probably wipe the floor with you. The challenge across the game is, all in all, much more consistent and adds some replayability. Gym leaders also have post-game rematches available, using dialogue reminiscent of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Further enhancing the semi-open world, and accommodating Mount Moon Square's shop and removing some soft locks, we've added the T from Fire and Leaf Green, replacing the role of Lemonade and the like. You obtain this in the same way as those games from a woman in Celadon condominiums. We made the guards text hinted in, of course, and it's very aggressively British. Likewise, we've compressed the rods into a singular fishing rod, accessible on Nugget Bridge. Fire Red and Leaf Green's move choosers have also been added, which were previously used to accommodate replaced TMs. Here, they just add more life to the region, something Generations 1 and 2 sometimes struggle with, while giving access to more TMs throughout the game. A big focus was placed on beautifying and populating the region, above all else. To that end, some maps have received QOL enhancements. Future City has a map reminiscent of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee's more walkable terrain, Silphco has completely reworked pathing to frame itself as more of a boss rush, Rock Tunnel is more aesthetically distinct and features items you require Flash to find, and Cinnabar Island has a volcano dungeon where Moltres is found. The Fighting Dojo also received a map upgrade to accommodate Hitmontop, while also using the prototype tile set to make it more aesthetically distinct. There is so much more than this though, including entirely new maps, so I encourage you to explore the region. We've tried really hard to make everything feel as vanilla as possible. On Cinnabar Island, a trade NPC has been made available to integrate and improve trade evolutions, and this is where Gorochu comes in. We chose this location for two reasons. The trade room in Cinnabar Lab is very thematically appropriate, and most ROM hacks make trade evolutions level-based, at around level 35 to 40, and you usually reach Cinnabar Island at around this level. So it just kind of works out. This is how you'll get your Alakazam, Golem, or even Annihilate, which is a reference to a really obscure creepypasta that I hope you all know about. Please tell you know about it, please. I'm old. I'm so old. I'm so old. Anyway, lots of new Pokemon use this method, and trades with the trainer won't affect your OT, DVs, or anything of the sort. It's basically a quirky, progress-locked evolution stone. Speaking of trades, boosted XP and outsider behavior have been removed, and you can nickname traded Pokemon now. The nicknaming feature was mainly added to accommodate the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee trades, as they erased nicknames in the process, which I imagine would have turned people off using them. In the new Celadon University map, you can access the Move Deleter and Move Reminder. That means no more permanent HMs. No longer do you need to catch a low-level Pokemon to access useful moves like Licky Tongue Trap. We based this location on the July 1998 Time Machine Magikarp event. If you go to Celadon Game Corner, the rewards you get now are much better. So if you get the coins, they'll be just basically just fall out of the machine. You'll just keep on winning. It's great. You'll never have to like grind ridiculously hard for a high beam TM or like blow all your money on something. It's much better. Also, the Game Corner prizes are much better as well. We've just made that like feature thing. It's no longer gambling at this point. It's fine. Just use it. Thank you. Some advanced features have also been added. You can view a Pokemon's DVs and stat XP by holding Start or Select respectively when viewing the summary. Shoutouts to Mateo and Jojo Bear 13 for these amazing features, their work is incredible. Additionally, in the Pokédex, you can view the base stats and typing of the Pokemon you catch on the third page of the details section. We took this from Vortian's Pure RGB ROM hack, which you should definitely try out, it's really good. If you're after a post-game, KEP delivers. We have multiple new areas especially for you. Obvious spoilers here, so click off if you're not into that. Firstly, we added Citrine City, a battle resort style area based on the unused Sea Town. It features the battle tent from Anniversary Red, renewable TMs of rare items, hyper training, and layers of the 3 Galarian birds. It also uses unique tiles reminiscent of Red and Green's prototype stages, giving it a distinct feeling compared to the rest of the game, but still clearly looking RBY. How do you access it? Well, if you go to Route 1 after clearing the game, a certain professor will be waiting for you. Much like the gym leader rematches mentioned before, the Elite Four will be much stronger when fought again, with much more out there teams using Fire Red Leaf Breed's philosophies. If you defeat them, legendary encounters are reset, so if you botch catching Articuno or something, you're golden. Yeah, this actually wasn't in Red and Blue originally, it's actually a thing from like, I think it actually added like Gen 4 or 3 or something? It's crazy. Some areas featuring powerful Pokemon also become available. Mount Moon Crater, an area reminiscent of Area 0, features Screamtail and Sandy Shocks as random encounters, just like Scarlet and Violet. Bill's Garden, a rumored location from the Playground mythos, also exists, containing all those one-time deals like Charmander and Hitmonchan. Finally, we have the Sylph Gauntlet, a restoration from Red and Green's cut dungeon underneath Sylphco, with the Chief waiting for one last brawl at the end. Defeating the Chief gives you access to Cerulean Cave, finally tying Mewtwo into the Kanto plotline. But what about Mew? Well, we ended up adding Faraway Island, which is basically Guyana, right? It has unique wild encounters and a much more accurate translation of the sign, aiming to breathe some new life into the location, which was admittedly quite half-baked in Emerald version. I don't know why a lot of people like it, to be honest. Anyway, you can access this area as soon as you unlock Surf, but you'll only learn how to in the post-game. How? I'll leave you to find out, but I'm sure those in the know already have the gears turning. That's all I have to share for this direct. I hope you'll enjoy this project, it's been a gigantic undertaking, and I never thought it would go this far. And I hope you also appreciate me being a bit more bubbly in this video. I'm just a bit, hyperactive today? I don't know why. That said, thank you to everyone who helped make the Kanto Expansion Pak possible. I couldn't have done it without your standing support. It was an insane undertaking. I particularly want to thank Marthas Against Humanity and Ema Skye, who sparked this off with me. You two are the absolute best, and I imagine you'll succeed at anything you want in the future. This was Pokemon Karma, I'll see you all next time, and Happy New Year!